everybody, it's Drew with Southern Yankee Innovations, and today I'm going to show you how I hooked up my outdoor wood boiler to my central air heat pump. Here's just a general wire diagram. I'm not an HVAC guy. I'm not sure if this is generic wiring. However, this is how it's set up in my house, and just figured I'd make a diagram. If anybody has a similar setup, this might work for them. So the reason you'd want to wire it up like this is to avoid having two thermostats. Two thermostats, you either have to turn on your thermostat to use your wood boiler, or you have to turn on your thermostat to use your heat pump. Wiring it up this way bypasses that. Anytime your thermostat calls for heat, it sends the signal to your air handler. The Aquastat will tell the air handler, yes, I have hot water, or no, I don't have hot water. If hot water is detected, the blower for the central air unit will turn on. However, the heat pump will remain off. If there's no hot water being supplied to the heat exchanger, then the heat pump and blower will turn on, creating your heat source electrically instead of through the heat exchanger. One of the first things you'll need is a Ranco Aquastat. You're going to want the 24 volt version, not the 120. The part number is going to be ETC-1120000000. You'll also need a 90-340 type 91 relay. First thing we'll do is we'll get the Aquastat set up. Just take out the 4 corner screws and the faceplate will come off. Just ignore that red wire that's already in there. We'll start with wiring up the blue. So run the blue through the bottom and to the right connection, which is going to be your common. This is just thermostat wiring. Just make sure you have a long enough lead so wherever you decide to mount your Aquastat, that it can make from there to inside your air handler. Alright, next we'll work on the power supply. You're going to need a piece 4 to 5 inches long with both ends strip, and then another one that's about the same length as the blue common wire you ran already. So what you're going to do is you're going to put both the short wire and the long wire in the same connection, and unlike what I'm doing in the video, you're actually going to move it over to the left connection where the 24 is. The 24 stands for the 24 volts coming from the air handler to the Aquastat. Then you'll take the jumper wire and you're going to put that into the C, which is going to be all the way on the right on the lower connections. Alright, and then you're going to do one more red wire, which is going to be your power coming out. You're going to put that into the NO circuit on the bottom section, which is going to be your middle connector. So all you're going to have is 3 wires coming in, 2 red and a blue, and then 1 red jumper. You can switch the wires up, different colors. That's just what I did to make a process easier for myself. Alright, once that's all set, you can go ahead and put the cover back on, set the 4 screws. If you do use both red wires, just mark which wire is connected to which circuit so you'll know when you're tying it into your relay, into your power source. So here's your 340 relay. You can see the numbers corresponding with the connectors that will correspond with the diagram. All I did was use a crimp style connector to slide on. Alright, you'll connect the blue to the bottom left connection. There's no number to correspond with that. And then you'll have a white. Again, these are all going to be relatively long, and that's going to connect to the number 4. Then you'll have another long white, which will be connected to the number 5. And then you'll have a yellow, which will get connected to the number 1. You'll get another long yellow, and that will be connected to the number 2. With everything all connected, you will have yellow to 1 and 2, white to 4 and 5, and then a blue to the bottom left. Alright, you'll want to mount your 340 relay and then open up the side cover on your central air handler. Top right corner, you'll see a mess of wires and wire nuts. That's where you're going to want to connect your wiring for your 340 relay. So I was wiring this up into the attic and I did not have good lighting, so I was unable to record it. So here's just a diagram of how everything's connected. Full disclaimer, I'm not an HVAC guy. I'd be glad to try to help if you had any questions, but if you show this to an HVAC guy, they should be able to wire it up for you, no problems. Once everything's all wired up, the last thing you'll have to do is connect your probe for your Aquastat to your supply line for your heat exchanger that's already tied into your ductwork. Is what you'll want to do is make sure it's nice and tight, like a hose clamp, and then wrap it in some nice insulative tape. That way you're getting the most accurate reading to make sure that your heat pump isn't firing when it's not supposed to.